Today we're going to be looking at another mega potential opportunity you might have, which is the first application to go live on Fractal Bitcoin. And of course, Fractal Bitcoin is a scalable solution created by the Unisat team themselves. A lot of people are saying this could be the Bitmap killer. Is it? Well, we're going to be breaking all of that down for y'all right now in this episode of Francis Dhun Uncensored.
Francis Dhun Uncensored.
Welcome back to another video here at Francis Dhun Uncensored, where we do have tomorrow's newspapers today. This is also called a Smart Money channel. If you like putting yourselves ahead of the pack when it comes to the next big thing in crypto, make sure you like, subscribe, but more importantly, smash the bell notification button so you don't miss out on exclusive content like this. And that's exactly what we do. We put you guys ahead of the crowd. We do have tomorrow's newspapers today. And man, I'm very excited to talk about this first app to go live on Fractal Bitcoin. Fractal Bitcoin, when it launches in September, it's going to be an absolute game changer. So I want you guys to be educated on what's about to happen and what's about to come to market, okay? So let's get right to the program here. Now, fractalbitcoin.io, I'll briefly go over it. As they say on their website, the only native scaling solution completely and instantly compatible with Bitcoin. And it goes into much more than that. I've already covered Fractal Bitcoin. I'll leave the card for that right here. Get caught up on that, okay? This is coming from the Unisat team. Very important to understand that, okay? Also, I will be doing a more thorough, in-depth review on Fractal Bitcoin that will be unmistakably clear. So do be on the lookout for that, all right? What we're talking about today is something called Uni Worlds. Uniworlds.io. And they describe themselves as Uniworlds is a 3D and AI autonomous world asset creation platform on Bitcoin. In other words, it is a 3D shared environment, aka a metaverse, where you could trade 3D assets, all kinds of other stuff that will happen on Fractal Bitcoin. Very exciting. This is very similar to one of the most successful assets on Bitcoin in the ordinals industry, which is Bitmap. Bitmap itself was a metaverse, or is a metaverse, and that, garnered a lot of attention as one of the more successful assets in terms of, community, volume, and even the valuation going up. And I think Uniworlds, coming from, the first application on Fractal Bitcoin that's backed by Unisat, might get a lot of, push from the Unisat team, right? For it being its first application. So I think this is something that you really need to strongly pay attention to see if there's an opportunity here for you, to see if Uniworlds might be able to mimic similar success of Bitmap. And as we see right now, Bitmap's floor price is currently at 0.0008299. Trading volume has been excellent overall. The holders is over 34,000, etc., etc. And we could come on over here and Uniworlds Keys of Destiny. This is essentially like their, let's call it their ordinal, right? Or I don't want to say NFT, but if you say NFT and, you're referring to assets on Bitcoin, you know what the heck you're talking about. So let's not use the word NFT here. I made a tweet about this when I first purchased my 10 about a few days ago, and it was about 0.0034. The floor price, it's now 0.0041, and I only see this really going up from here as we get closer to the testnet and the actual launch of the mainnet for Fractal Bitcoin, okay? So over here is their website where they give us a lot more details on what we can expect, okay? So empower your world with sovereign crypto assets. They go on to the actual products over here, okay? So number one, Uniworlds gamifies Web3, enhancing asset liquidity and practical applications. Number two says Uniworlds helps Web2 gaming projects transition to blockchain, offering comprehensive acceleration services. Uniworlds supports creators in publishing 3D games without coding, offering comprehensive tools and services, ladies and gentlemen. And then we got over here, number four, Uniworlds promotes a co-creation community where members develop content and govern together. What stands out to me the most is this one right here, number three. And if we're going to be comparing this to Bitmap, and I love Bitmap, I own Bitmaps, I want to see it succeed, and I think it would, right? But the only barrier to entry that they had that made things hard was, not anyone could come on like code it and develop on it, right? I mean, sure, you could learn how to do those things, but it wasn't that easy to understand. And if Uniworlds claims in point number three here that how they will support creators in publishing 3D games without coding, offering comprehensive tools and services, that already is going to bode better for something like Uniworlds, right? Because a metaverse is really useless if you just got people holding land. And if people aren't really developing or building on top of it, for example, I have a lot of experience in the metaverse. With Sandbox, I spent over think it was 2 million, but let's just say a million in Sandbox. I think it was, whatever. I spent a lot of money in Sandbox, and I built actual thriving 3D experiences, more business centric there, though over there. And, if you're not going to have any 3D worlds that people could visit for whatever reason, whether that's just for, a gamified world, or that's a 3D business environment, or some form of like promotions for brands, or whatever it is, it's really useless, because all it comes down to just people holding a bunch of assets that needs actual utility or build, because the metaverse is really all about utility when you think about it, right? So that's what I would say here, and giving them the tools to build that on their own, it's very, very, very powerful. Okay, so we could carry on to other things here, which I got open, which is the document page. And I'm not going to read all of this here for you guys, but what you need to understand is what is the actual use case for these particular keys over here, which is called the Uniworlds Key of Destiny. All right, and there is quite a number of interesting factors and use cases here, right? So number one, governance rights. Uniworlds, a macro-complex yet micro-simplistic confluence of gaming, editing products, and a 3D crypto ecosystem, harbors extensive governance and transactional needs, with the imminent integration of Uniworlds platform and wallet functionalities into a Web2 mobile game. With over 4 million monthly active users and over 100 million downloads, an influx of Web2 players is expected. All right. As such, Titan's key holders will be endowed with the most substantial governance and on-chain asset delegation rights. Okay, so you get a lot of governance rights and perks and benefits for holding those keys. They also talk about something called mining rights if you hold these keys. The mining rate curve for the Titan's key is envisioned to grow exponentially. We imagine a world where humans can work in virtual spaces with portable ease, and it's true. Like, I'm working right now from a virtual space, right? You guys are virtually watching me through your damn phone or your computer right now, but this is more of a 3D environment. So within the Uniworlds ecosystem, even ordinary Web 2 players can mine crypto assets through diligent interaction, but only these key holders will reap substantial shares of these assets, including but not limited to Uniworlds and Fractal Bitcoin on-chain rewards. With the higher level of return, multiple rewarding mechanism is our vision for a symbiotic on-chain ecosystem, not one of exclusion, okay? And it goes on and on. So you have some mining rights as well. You also have another use case over here, access to premier development resources and tools. The paramount choice to create directed towards on-chain assets must be permanently recorded and market-oriented. This is our definition of creation for the future world, a departure from traditional frameworks of salons, galleries, critiques, and markets that often masquerade professional veneers and underlying power structures. So what they're trying to say here now is, this reminds me a lot more like Sandbox, right? What do I mean? Well, Sandbox has the game maker. That's an area where you would go to create these worlds, right? They have their asset generator as well, or they call it something different, but it's like their Vox creator, where you could create these avatars. It's like drag and drop, right? Click, drag, drop, done. No code required. That's what they're doing here. So essentially, Uniworlds appears to be giving us the tools, the infrastructure, and the framework to build what we want in a non-complex way, all right? So that's pretty damn cool, and that's what's going to be needed. If you really want to build a thriving metaverse, you need to have these tools available for the people, all right, to actually build something, and without going through, like, costly developers too. Studio and app beta testing and governance privileges. Titan's key holders not only possess the potential for substantial returns as mentioned, but also the responsibility to beta test new products for this new world and community. That's pretty damn cool. So essentially, they would give key holders the rights to test this out first before it actually goes public. Nice, so you have a lot more inclusion there. All right, and it goes on, right? Uniqueness and significance. The Titan keys will be displayed with the number of domain names held, signifying the passion invested, priority testing rights, fee advantages, right? Titan key holders who were bold enough to take early stage risks and invest in this world are akin to shareholders, guys, and it goes on and on and on. So, those are the benefits. Now, there's other things that we should mention here as well. There are two types of these keys. One is silver, one is gold. The gold one will provide you much more perks and benefits, and those are going for approximately, as you can see right here, 0.01 BTC and up, okay? The gold ones, 0.0185, we got a 0.01827, etc., etc., right? So, you know, you can get started with the silver, but just keep in mind that the gold ones are going to give you a lot more perks and benefits. So that's something you might want to consider if you're looking into this project and you think it has value. Knowing that how the testnet's right around the corner, okay, I think that should have happened in about a month or less. And then in September, which is essentially 2.5 months, 2 months from now, this is when Fractal Bitcoin goes live. If there's no delays and this falls into place with that timeline, I don't see how this doesn't get a lot of love, right? A lot of adoption. People are actually into the metaverse. I think the Bitmap guys might be curious over here, and they might, you know, start to tinker around and see what this Uniworlds is all about. Again, I can't stress this enough. Uniworlds having the click, drag, drop like tools to build these virtual environments is going to be an absolute game changer. That's one thing that I could give them that's, you know, that could exceed Bitmap's progress here. I think Bitmap right now, I mean, it's been, you know, we've heard of Bitmap over a year now and not much really doing, you know. I think we're still kind of like stuck in the mud here. These are the type of challenges they're facing here when they can't give the community these sort of tools to go ahead and build on their own damn land. So, let me know what you guys think about the first app to go live on Fractal Bitcoin. And as we all know, anything that's the first app to go live on a new sort of like protocol, sidechain layer 2, they normally tend to do the best. So I'll definitely be keeping a close eye here on Uniworlds and sharing any information that I found on my own time with you guys. So with that being said, there ain't really much left to say other than, till the next video, your ass is on your own, bro. Later.